session stands between lunch and now. So, hoping to make sure that you guys are going back with value and then go to a great lunch. So the talk basically will be focused on creating customer adhesivity in Indian markets, right? So we spoke about fragmented markets, but essentially targeted towards India. Few of the things which kind of wanted to start off with an example. A lot of us would have experienced this either growing up as kids or seen other kids play as well. So typically in the Western world, when kids want to go to play, they go to a park, right? So a proper cricket playing ground, or at least somewhere close there. They have a full kit, they go play with the rules of the game and so on. Typically, what we do from an enterprise standpoint, right? We plan out what are the things that are required. We go implement it over a period of time. The corollary from an Indian standpoint, and it was very striking when I was kind of thinking through the topic as an analogy, is that when kids actually go to play on a street, the rules are something that they need to create. There is no structured set of rules out there to go and play. Innovation needs to come on the fly. The other key thing is, now all the participants need to agree to play in a similar way, so that ability to get buy-in from your customers, in this case their peers who are actually playing along with them, their colleagues who are playing along with them, is critical as well. As the game evolves, so there's a certain set of rules, including how wide the stumps need to be, how tall they need to be, whether the catches are full or is it one pitch, things that we can recollect from our own childhood and so on, right? And the rules of the game evolve. So maybe there's a nasty neighbor who doesn't like the ball going into their compound. Kids work around that. They make up rules to accommodate that as well. Very much in tune with the talk of this particular topic, which is about creating lean models through which we can deliver software, where we can deliver business capabilities in a pretty rapid manner, in an innovative manner, where the customers go along with us in the journey. In a nutshell, that's kind of the concept and the topic that I would be talking about. So today's discussion is focused on 3 key areas. The first area is around some innovations that have happened around the globe, right? So there is no plethora of ideas. And I'm sure you have been inundated from morning with a lot of consultants. All of us have a nasty habit of picking at what other people are doing, as well as what retailers across the globe are doing. So, and I'm going to be talking about some few key examples, that may be of interest. But then that's not the focus of the topic, right? Yes, there are a plethora of ideas. We kind of want to focus on which are the ones that are really going to work for you as retailers within the Indian context. And how do you actually go about distinguishing the ones that would really work for you? That's number 1. And the 2 is, how do you do it without breaking the bank, right? A lot of times retailers have the fear of, hey, if I make this investment, is it going to pay back? You really kind of want to know to a level of certainty that, yeah, what I'm implementing will actually work for me and it will pay back the ROI that I think it would. So those are the things that we will be talking about as part of today's discussion. So in terms of innovations across the globe, 5 specific areas that I kind of pulled together. So one is on mobile, second on in-store customer experience. A lot of innovation is happening from a customer experience standpoint, just like what the earlier speaker from BT also spoke about. Customer experience seems to be where almost all the spend is. From an India retail standpoint, there may be some additional spend from a supply chain, merchandising and other areas. But there is a lot of activity in this area around customer experience. The third around how do you crowdsource and what have people around the world done in terms of crowdsourcing some of this innovation. The fourth is around how do you build traffic and some innovation that's actually happened in that area to increase footfalls at the store. The fifth is of way far out into the future kind of concept. There are some examples which are more near term, but we are kind of wanted to present some of those far out concepts as well. So the first around mobile, there are 5 specific areas. If you kind of take a look at it, there are 5 areas from a mobile standpoint, right? One is mobile apps for consumers, which kind of blends between the digital and the real world. And I'll go through the examples in just a bit, but knowing what those 5 areas are critical as well. The second is around mobile commerce kind of applications which allows the consumer to actually buy on your mobile phone. The third area from a mobile standpoint that we have seen a lot of innovation drive through is around mobile payments. Payments across, using cashless transactions. In those countries where it's allowed, they tie up with banks and so on. And those go through from a mobile standpoint as well. All cashless transactions, one of which is the prototype that we would like to build out. So the fourth area is basically around in-store applications for the store associate. Not for consumers, but for store associates or people at the stores, so that they can actually either enhance the experience of the customer by knowing who the customer is, their past purchases, more information about the products, and so on. And the last is for in-store devices, but from a consumer use, still owned and managed by the retailer, not by the consumer, but these are devices that are at the store. For example, eMart, their Sunny Sale, which we will talk about in just a little bit. They are very well known for that, but this is another device that they created which provides product information. It provides discounts. It provides just-in-time information about your buying patterns and what you may really like to buy as well as consumers. So that's one innovation. So Pointer actually, the last one on the left, on the right bottom. They basically created QR codes where consumers could go scan the QR code and the gene was actually delivered to the trial room. Another example, a great example of innovation which enhances consumer experience at the store. Sainsbury's Scan and Go, where consumers can basically